Hey there, everyone. You're listening to KJACK LP Flagstaff. It's about 5:48 in the evening, and we have a great little interview coming your way. We have Lipstick Traces in the studio. Super exciting. I'm going to have them individually introduce themselves. Yeah, you don't need the headphones. It's okay. Yeah. So, start wherever you want and just go down the line. Please say your name and what you do in the band.
I think Jackson should start it off.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jackson Ramirez, and I am the drummer.
Hi, my name is KJACK, and I am the bass guitarist.
My name's Jed Bernier, and I'm the rhythm guitarist.
I'm Riley Hoffer, and I play lead guitar.
I'm Lauren Malmstrom, and I'm the lead singer.
Awesome. Very cool. We're very excited to have you guys in the studio today. Thanks for coming in. So, yeah, awesome. So I guess just starting off, how did you guys all meet and further decide to start a band?
Yeah, it's a them story.
Yeah, well, first off, me and Katie are roommates, so I kind of had to hang out with her, but it all kind of started last semester in Robert Wallace's Politics of Punk class where me and Lauren met, and we kind of started sitting next to each other in class. We actually didn't talk for the first 2 weeks, which was really weird, but then we started becoming friends, and she joined the class punk band that we were doing just as a class project, and then from there we kind of started putting things together, and we added Jed and Jackson, and then by November, December, we kind of had the full band figured out.
Awesome. Yeah. Very cool. So what inspired you all kind of individually to start playing music and start your musical careers?
Am I starting this one? Mm-hmm. Okay. My dad is actually a musician, so from an early age I was just exposed to that. And he would he had his own recording studio in my house, and he would make little silly songs with me singing, and then he bought me a guitar, so then I learned how to play the guitar, and yeah, ever since then it's just kind of a massive part of my life. So
Awesome.
Yeah, kind of similar for me. All my parents play some kind of instrument, and I've played trombone since 4th grade.
Nice.
But I kind of got away from that and started playing guitar in middle school more, and then definitely last year is when I really started picking things up with guitar. But I've always played an instrument, so it's nice.
Cool.
For me, my grandpa taught me how to play guitar when I was around 6, and he gave me one of his own, so that was awesome. And then around high school I started playing electric guitar, and that's when things really took off. I started to get deep into music, and
I also have a father who was interested in music. He had a band in the 90s.
Oh, awesome.
He played the bass for that band. And then, I really just grew up listening to music and stuff. We have a studio at our house. Literally, me and Lauren are the same. So yeah, and then when I was 16, I picked up the bass, and I was I like it. And now here we are.
Awesome. Very cool.
Both my parents were musicians. My mom was a singer, and my dad played alto saxophone. So in 4th grade, I started playing saxophone. I played that in the same band with Riley over there. Pretty fun times. But then after that, I really just picked up the sticks a couple months ago, 6 months ago, half a year ago.
That's really impressive, honestly.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know, Katie and Garrett and Hoffer were all playing in their apartment, and I felt left out, so I started playing the little cajon.
Yeah.
Then Katie brought her kit up, and I just started practicing, and
Very
that's
cool.
how I got
So
interested
music
in drums.
runs in your blood, I guess.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've just kind of noticed from not only watching you guys perform, but also just interacting with you as human beings, is that you're all just so nice. Genuinely, it's so wonderful working with you guys, even if stuff doesn't go the best way. You're always just so positive. So A, thanks. And B, where does that positivity kind of spring from? Because I know there can be frustrations working as a team and working together, but you all seem to be pretty friendly with each other and just nice to everyone. So where does that kind of come from?
I feel like most of it is just we're having fun with everything we do. Nothing feels like a chore.
Yeah.
And so we just like to have fun with it.
That's great. Yeah.
I also think that since we're just so new to this, 6 months we've been playing together, we're not expecting a huge thing where people treat treat us like royalty, we're we're still new to this, and like we're still like, I don't know, getting used to everything, so we don't really know what to expect in the first place. So we just kind of take it at like positive attitude.
Yeah, despite that newness, though, you guys have a pretty solid following. I mean, you guys brought the biggest crowd I've ever seen for the Daffodil Days event. So, like, do you guys? I mean, I'm sure you love your fans, but like, why do you think you've gained such a quick following?
So a lot of it's actually a lot of that is actually like friends from our job. Jackson, the True Blue Army. Jackson, me, and Hoffer all are like tour guides here.
Yeah, awesome.
And we just get a lot of support from them. But then, like, I don't know, we also have like friends who tell friends. Like Riley has a bunch of like mosher friends,
Nice. Yeah.
who they always pop out and stuff too. So like, I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah. I know also, like, Jackson's a forestry major. I'm a forestry major. So many of the forestry people just support you guys because Jackson's in it.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm sure, like, you all come
yeah.
from, like, a wide range of places. So it's nice to have that big support team. Also, I love that your families came. That was awesome. Yeah.
Have to shout them out.
Yeah.
Shout out Jill and Travis.
Cool. So who and, like, what? So, like, musicians-wise, people-wise, or just, like, in general things, I guess? Like, what inspires you guys in your music, in your like sound, whatever that looks like for you guys? I know that's a tough question. It's like a very broad question.
I can start it just with like with that punk class and like listening to like early punk music, like the Sex Pistols, like Black Flag, a lot of those type of bands. A lot of them didn't really come from like a classically trained musical background. They just kind of picked up a guitar, picked up the sticks, and started playing. And it's like you don't have to be a musician to make music. And I think that kind of just made me realize that, like, okay, I know how to play guitar. Why am I not writing songs? Why am I not like playing in a band? And so that was kind of the beginning for me, and kind of like a lot of inspiration when things first kicked off with like me and Lauren writing together.
Awesome. Yeah.
I feel like for me, it's kind of the same way. I've always had like a dream of just playing in front of people. And I just never got around to it. It felt like a lot of work. And then I met all these guys, and I was like, you know, why not be in a band?
I think it's really important to note that when we're like writing songs, or like one of us like comes up with like a new like song idea, it's really important to note that we all have like we have similar, but we also have very different music tastes, and that all comes like that just like in like sparks like inspiration and like ideas and all that. So like, yeah, I think that also helps with like writing songs, is that we all have different tastes in music. We all have like different ideas for like what we want to write for a song, and then we all work together to make it happen.
Yeah, with the songwriting, how do you guys kind of like work through that if you all have like different perspectives and stuff? Because your songs are great and they have like a pretty consistent sound, I guess, even if they are different. So they're different songs, whatever, but they have a similar sound. So what is that songwriting process, especially if it comes from like a different points of view?
I think our two biggest ones are Lauren and Katie here. So
Yeah, I'd say like so far, like the songs that we've put together that are like the most finished and like ready to perform have been like me and Katie's songs, but we're trying to like get some more in there. But I think honestly, like me and Katie write most of our like stuff like individually, and then like I don't know, and then we just kind of like introduce it to the band, or we'll send it to the group chat, and then we kind of just like all brainstorm on it for like an hour straight, and then just kind of like think about how we really want it to sound. And then the more we just like play with it, I feel like there's always like that one like run through and we're like, oh my god, we cracked the code. And then we like, I don't know, it just like we're like, oh, that's how it needs to be even when we record it eventually, and how we want to play it on stage. And then I don't know, it just kind of then practicing just goes from there, and like we get it down. So
Yeah, I was gonna say like literally like all of us though, like we each individually like will create lyrics or like or chords or just something like along the lines of that, either like pair up with someone else like in our you know here and like work on it together and then send it over, or just like send it over. And a lot of times it just like starts off with like a really like crappy like demo. We play it like once, and then I kid you not, everyone has an idea of like what to do on it. Like it's like insane. Like you could just come up with like anything, and it's like bop like that. So, yeah.
I just love because like all of our music tastes are like super different, so I just love seeing, you know, our different tastes come into the writing part of it.
Yeah.
When I write my songs, I like to usually be around Katie, because me and her have like a similar like feel of what we want the song to be.
Mhm.
But there's this video that I saw of Bill Hader. He was talking about writing scripts for like SNL, but like it applies to like songwriting too. It's like be wrong fast. Like write something down. Like even if like it's like a crappy chord progression, like have someone there to like tell you right away like it doesn't work. So like you can start working on the right thing. And I think that that's what helps when you're with someone else like writing a song.
Cool.
Nobody judges you either for how horrible
Yeah.
the song is.
Yeah. So kind of along that similar line, I know this is a very hard question, especially for creatives, but is there a way that you would kind of define your sound, or like a genre that you guys typically like to stick to, anything like that? I know it's hard, but like what are some like descriptors that you would describe your sound as?
The
That's
answer
so hard.
changes every time we get asked
Actually,
that.
all over the place.
We got labeled as soft rock, so I'd probably
Yeah.
go with that.
By
But,
who?
like, everyone- it was
We'll talk about this later. but
But every
I
one
don't
of our
know.
songs so far is like literally a different genre. So we're
Mhm.
still trying
Yeah,
to figure
I
that
feel
out.
like lately we've kind of been tapping more into like more like a more feminine, like softer punk in a sense, where it's like, I don't know, it's like it has like a harder part to it and stuff, but then like my voice like automatically makes it feel more like dainty, I guess. But like I don't know, it kind of has its like own feel and style to it, and I don't know, especially because there's not many bands in Flag with like women in them. It's kind of cool to have like that more feminine aspect to the music, and I think it makes it strong. So
Definitely.
Yeah, that's great. Great. So what has been your like favorite or most unique performance so far? I know you guys are getting started. You have done some house shows. You've done some KJACK stuff. But what's been kind of the coolest thing?
You want me to go to
Honestly-
the line? Like, I
yeah, I was gonna say that just made me think of like we talk about this, but like all of our shows have been so weird and like unique so far, and like we're just like every time we like look back at it after, we're like what like, but we like know it's like part of the process of like being a band. Like you have to play shows that are like a little bit odd, but even when they're odd, they're just so fun. Like yeah, like we just played with Sweet and Juicy on Wednesday, and their style is just so opposite to ours, but they're like super interesting musicians and people that it was just like a super fun experience. But I would honestly say the Hive was like our most unique show, just because I felt like we all like connected the most during that, and like I don't know, I just feel like we played our best and like had the most energy into it, mainly because of the fans and the audience and stuff. But yeah, I would say that's probably the most unique.
Yeah, I think, like she said, a lot of our shows, but the first, like, just the way we kicked it off was really funny. We played Yoko Fest at Kickstand Cafe, all thanks to Rob Wallace again from that punk class, and like we were stoked to be there, but we literally just played 3 Yoko Ono covers, and none of us had heard those songs like the 2 weeks before we had the show, and we just listened to them every day, like 10 times a day, the like Yoko Ono songs, and yeah, I had mixed feelings on them. But like we played them, and it was a great like first experience for us, and just to get us out there and get on the stage and in front of people, and that was a really cool experience.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was probably our first house show. We only had 2 songs as a band, I think, so it was mostly covers. But to me, that was like our first real performance, and we did a lot of gimmicks and kind of played around with the people that were there. So it was just a lot of fun.
I would say the Daffodil Days that just happened, just like based on energy alone. The last song we played, little shout out to Riley Hoffer over there. Like, so there's a part where like he doesn't play and then like goes right into a solo, and like we get like really hard. He comes over and just starts bouncing me, and then you could like see in the video he's like this the whole time. He like throws the capo. I don't know. I love that show just for like maybe like that moment. And there were like so many other really good moments.
Also,
Like
it started snowing
Yeah, it
and
snowed,
no
yeah.
one left.
Yeah.
And it was so magical, like to be in the audience, be in the crowd, and see you guys with just like the snow falling down. Like
We
it was
recovered. We
beautiful.
were all
No,
good.
you guys were good too. The snow falling down on the audience, like it was great.
Exactly.
It snowed right as he started the solo.
Yeah. That was perfect.
And right when placeholder started. Too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what? We've had, like, those 3, like, big performances, like 4, including the house show, but, like, I don't know, there was just something really special about Wednesday night, about, like, finally being on, like, a stage and, like, playing with other, like, bands and, like, seeing the process of, like, sound check and, like, seeing the other people play and, like, loading everything up. Like, I just feel like that was just, like, so special, and I think we're all gonna remember that in down the future, like as like our first like real like huge like on a stage show.
Yeah, awesome. Kind of on the other side of that, have you guys had any like negative experiences as a group, like through your process of like becoming friends or anything, or like becoming a band, songwriting, or any shows, and like how did you guys deal with that as a group?
Well, it's just like one like funny thing that Jackson actually said on Wednesday. I get like really like not the nicest person, like you were talking about before our shows. Like one time, I wrote a song called "On You." We were practicing it like maybe like a day before a show, and I was like, no, something doesn't sound right. Like I was just like, yeah. So like that's a negative.
That same night, my guitar
Oh,
strings
yeah.
snapped right before the show.
Oh
So I had
gosh.
to like, get my stuff together and exchange it real
Oh,
fast.
we were real cranky before that
No.
show.
I feel like after my string snapped, everybody just went silent.
Yeah,
Sorry,
honestly, I feel like I get pretty cranky before like every show because I start like panicking and I'm like, I'm gonna forget every damn word. Like I get so nervous, and then I just like I don't know, like because I have so many dreams where I'm like I forget the words like on stage, and then I wake up and I'm like it's destined to happen, and then everything's perfectly fine the second I'm on stage, but.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Even not performing and being on stage in front of everyone, but just like running events and stuff, I get so nervous beforehand. I'm like, no one's gonna show up and everything's gonna be on fire. Like, just the worst. But, cool. So, if you could like collab with one person or band, or like if you could do just like a album of just like one genre, what would you guys pick?
Oh my god.
I know it's
Well,
tough. There's a lot of great artists out there.
Let's return to the album question after this, but
Okay.
I think the one thing we were thinking of is like we really like Feed, and it's just because we've been to their shows and like we just keep thinking over and over like we just want to open for Feed like for some reason, and like we all also met a couple of the members and they're awesome. So
Feed if you're listening, please.
yeah,
Your bassist is incredible.
yeah. But you guys can answer the other question about album.
I was gonna say another one for the artists. Like we all, so Bummer Girls like more of a local band in like Scottsdale
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
But like when they came up at the Hive and stuff, like they're one of my favorite bands, and like they kind of have like a folky style that I think is really interesting and like I think would be super fun to explore. I don't think that they would ever write music with that because they're way cooler. But but yeah, that's a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For album, I would say like rock, like or like a mix of like rock and punk for the album.
Yeah.
We write a lot of like surf songs right now, so
Yeah.
like throw a little bit of that in.
Yeah.
But I think if like one defining, I would say like punky, like thrashy.
Awesome.
I
yeah.
feel like I'm the opposite though, because like I love our punk songs that we have, but like I like when I envision like an album like of one genre, I always like envision like Mac DeMarco. Like he's like been one of my biggest influences in like music. But again, like I love those punk songs, so like maybe just like a hard punk album would be
Yeah.
really fun.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
I'd
I
love
also
to do like
sorry.
metal or rap rock, but I don't think we have that in us.
I think you can do anything. You guys are great. Yeah. I also really appreciate that you guys said like local bands. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Like
we're
Lady Gaga.
yeah. I mean like in a dream world.
Metallica.
Yeah, fair, yeah.
Open for Beyonce.
Yeah. So as like a collective, as a band, what are some things that you guys want to accomplish in your future, whether that's within the year, within 5 years, 10 years, whatever that looks like for you? What do you guys want to accomplish in your future?
I think our biggest milestone right now is just recording an album. Like we don't have any presence on Spotify because we don't have any recordings for an album yet, but we've all planned over the summer to have a week or two where we can all just hash out some recording and finally get something on Spotify so people can listen to us. I think that's our biggest milestone right now.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think also like once we get back, my mentality going into the band is we just play whenever we can, like no matter what, because like performing is truly like the best way to get better, and we learn a lot every time we perform. So I think like coming into next semester, just like taking every show we can get, playing as much as we can, and yeah, just taking every opportunity.
Yeah, awesome. I have one final question for you all. If you have a message for your fans, what is that message that you have?
We love you.
Yeah. Awesome. Is there anything else you guys want to say? Any shout outs that you want to do before we say goodbye?
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
thank you
and
for
for
having
inviting
us
us to
here.
Battle of the Bands. We're
Yeah.
really, really excited.
No, you guys are awesome. It's great working with you.
Shout out to Lily and Brandon for
Yeah.
standing in the room right
Yeah.
now, hanging out with us.
Yeah.
They help out with the band a lot, so
Yeah.
it's great to have them.
They're like our roadies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Like
Awesome.
yeah, like we really just do have like a really good like supporting friend group that always just makes sure to like come to all our shows. But like, yeah, like thank you to KJACK for this interview and Battle of the Bands and Keegan Halverson for the Daffodil Days.
Love that guy.
They were really
Yeah.
that was really fun to
That was
play.
dope.
And
We see Keegan everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're terrified to play against them at Battle of the Bands because they're way
Shivering
more
our
put together.
timbers,
Yeah.
Yeah. Wide experience, lots of different perspectives. That's what's
Yeah.
great about Battle of the Bands. So, if you enjoyed this interview, if you want to come see Lipstick Traces, check out Battle of the Bands at the Hive. Doors at 5:30, music at 6. Tickets will be $12 at the door on Saturday, April the 27th. I almost said August. It's not August, it's April. April 27th. 1 week from tomorrow. So yeah, check it out. It'll be great. It'll be so much fun. Yeah, sorry, it's not to shock you, but it is 1 week from tomorrow. Yeah.
We're ready. We're ready.
Yeah. So check it out at the Hive. We hope to see you there. Thanks so much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.